Hi, Wendy. Good morning. Good to see you. So just taking a moment to settle in to a seat of ease. It does not need to look like mine. It does not need to look like any seat you've ever been in before, but just a place where you can find both comfort and some semblance of stillness. If it feels good to close your eyes, close your eyes. Or inviting in your soft and inward gaze. We begin to offer ourselves up to the sweetness of this moment, right here, right now. If all you do is this for the next hour, it would be enough. Just to give yourself some permission, not figure anything out, not fix anything, but rather this opportunity to begin to meet yourself exactly where you're at. So taking in the space around you. What do you hear? What do you smell? How does the temperature of the air feel as it meets your skin? And then taking in gravity and its effects. And as we notice that, notice if you're slumped forward or over to one side or another or back. Right? Proprioception, where are you in space? From there, please begin to lengthen through your spine and a sense of softening your shoulders down the back of your body. Notice what might be happening on your face. Softening right in between eyebrows. Relaxing at the hinge of the jaw. And beginning to steady right in to the feeling of your breathing. So what is the breath experience like this morning? Notice where the deepest place is in your body that you can feel your breathing. Notice the sound of your breath. And then is it possible to notice a little pause right after your exhalation? And in that moment of pause, where does your thinking mind go? Is it possible to invite the curiosity of the thinking mind right into that breath experience? And if you're having a morning that feels a little more active in that thinking mind of yours, maybe the breath becomes just a little bit louder. Just take a moment to feel into your sensational body. And as you take in physical you, do you have any opinions that you plug in to muscles or bones or aches or pains? And is it possible to let those go a little bit? And just to be in that sweet place of gratitude for all of the ways these strong bodies continue to show up for us. Big breath in. And a bigger breath out. And go a couple more times like that. And last one. If intention is part of your practice and it would serve you today, please bring hands to heart and just take a moment with that. Inviting something in or sending something out. And may we practice in a way that feels like it makes sense for what's happening in our lives and in our bodies. Releasing that. If you want to make any adjustments with your seat, go for it. If you're wearing glasses, you can take those off, and let's rub the hands together. So warming them up. And once you feel energy there, open your hands and then rest the weight of your heavy head into your hand. And then begin to rub the face, scalp, ears, neck, shoulders. Just taking in your own touch, excuse me. And releasing that when you're ready. If you want to see again, you can slide glasses back on, and with hands heavy on legs, let's begin to circle the torso. Just very simple beginnings. When you're ready, you can reverse. Feel free to invite pause anywhere you feel called, and then to also do as you are internally prompted. And we'll go back in their original direction if you want to try hovering your hands. Perhaps an opportunity to enliven some of those deeper core muscles here. We had a request for some more attention to core, so we'll do that this morning if you're game. Good, reverse again if you haven't. Good. And then back through center. Dripping your arms down along your side. Sit up nice and tall. We'll follow the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Round chin into chest. Send the palms away, rocking onto the backs of your sits bones. And then draw back into the heart. And there's our pattern continuing. Sweep up as you inhale. And exhaling. Chin into chest, reach away. And then back to the heart. Good, we'll add a twist this time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, simple twist to one side. Next inhale, get a little taller. And exhale, twist a bit deeper. And then let's just explore some gentle movement with the head and neck. You can begin to find a nod, yes. And then shake your head, no. Good, and then peek over that back shoulder. Have a couple more breaths there. Beautiful. And then inhale, sweep back through center, lengthen, and exhale to the other side. And just a cycle of breath as we settle in. Inhale, get a little bit taller. Hi, Janet. And exhale, twist a little bit deeper. You can peek behind you, and now from the tip of your nose, begin to draw a little circle. So we're just taking this as an opportunity to free up those first couple vertebrae in your spine. You can circle opposite. Good, and then find a bit of stillness and another breath. Great. Inhale, sweep back through center. And big sigh breath to the heart. Good, if you want to make any adjustments with your seat, go for it. And then we're just going to come gently forward over crossed legs, or maybe your legs are extended. Let your head hang heavy and begin to connect into some breath into the back of your heart. You can stay just as you are, or a couple breaths as you walk over to one side, finding a little bit of that lateral reach. Okay. And then whenever you're ready, rainbow on over to the other side. And find that reach, breathing in, breathing out. Good. And then back through center for our breath. Good, belly button to spine, slowly rolling up, and then walking your fingertips into the space behind you, and a gentle invitation of your sternum toward the sky. You can rest your head back, and a few full, slow cycles of breath. In and out. Okay. And then exhale, releasing that. And you can move props out of the way if you're using props. And we're gonna come down onto the back. If you wanna just plop yourself down, go for it. Or if you're up for a little more core efforting and your low back feels okay, feet wide as your hips, fingertips out in front, chin into chest, belly button to spine, rock onto the backs of your sits bones. Good. And then slowly roll down. Reach your fingertips into the space behind you, and then chin into chest, slowly roll up. It might not go exactly like that, and that's totally okay. But if you are engaging this, just notice how the breath works to support you. So resisting the urge to muscle through and really finding a way that feels reasonable with and directed by, rather, the quality of your breathing, the quality and fluidity of your movement. Good. If you're still enjoying another round or two, good. Gratitude for these strong and capable bodies of ours. And then we'll land, excuse me, in a full body stretch, reaching fingers from toes and wiggling hips out a little bit. Good, and then let's draw knees in toward the belly and find a gentle rock side to side. Apanasana. Good. And then a couple circles. In both directions. Good, let's separate the knees and let each knee draw its own circle, saying hello to your hip sockets. In both directions. Good. And then from there, let's stack knees over hips, shin bones parallel, and then bring your hands onto the tops of your thighs or the fronts of your thighs. And we'll play with a little bit of abdominal bracing. So here, begin to press your legs into your hands, and at the same time, press your hands back into your legs. You can work as little or as much as you want. Find your breath. Let that be enough, or tuck your chin into your chest and hover up, right? So imagine you can kind of lift up the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Your breath might get a little shallower, and that's totally okay. And then whenever you're ready to release, set your feet down and rest your hands on your front body, and just notice, right, any kind of echoes or the residue of your most recent effort. Good. And if you're up for that again, we'll go one more time. So find that same leg position and then bring hands onto those legs. Find that resistance, breathing in, breathing out. Wonderful place to stay. Or tuck your chin into your chest and hover up and breathe. And let it go. Good. This time, feet a little wider than your hips, and find a tick-tock of your legs side to side. Good. Your head might rock a little bit as you do this. Good. And then let's find that same leg position. Knees stack over the hips. This time, arms reach up toward the sky. Bend at your elbows. Arms are a mirror image of the legs. And then scoot your knees away from you another inch or two. You might notice lower belly muscles kicking on a bit more. Make sure low back feels okay. You might zip in the low waist just a bit more. And then if you feel inspired, we'll add a little bit of movement. So inhale, right leg, left arm up toward the sky. You can flex your foot at the top and then come on back down to neutral. And then just continuing like that, side to side, in concert with your breath. If you get scrambled, not to worry. We can begin again. Good. Whenever you're ready for rest, please hug the knees in and rest. You can round forehead, chin up toward your knees and squeeze. Great. And we'll do just a couple more things on the back. Let's do a bit of exploring in our bridge pose. So find your footprints on the earth. And then underneath you, notice where the outer edges of your feet are. And then arms down along your side. Full exhalation. And inhale. Float the hips up any amount. A sense of your shin bones reaching straight forward. And then exhale. Slowly unfurl, releasing your sacrum fully at the bottom. And you can stick with that, or for dynamic bridge, please float the arms up as you float the hips up, backs of the hands to the earth, and then floating everything down. And go a few times like that. So as usual, a lot of these different things we'll explore this morning will kind of enter in layers, so you can always stop at the place that feels best for you or add your own way if you're feeling creative and inspired this morning. You're really practicing in a way that feels personal and supportive to where you're at. The next time you're up in your lifted shape, stay there. What does it feel like to energetically hug your feet toward your shoulders a little bit? And then notice the space between your chin and your chest. And now we'll add a specific breath pattern here. So exhale everything, every last little bit of energy and air. And then hold your breath out. If the shoulders are okay with it, we'll keep the arms resting above, keeping the breath held out. Slowly roll down and really release at the bottom and wait for it. Whenever the body's ready to receive the inhalation, open the mouth and let the inhalation in. Good, and there's our pattern. We'll go a couple more times if you're up for it. Again, adjusting for shoulders to be comfortable. Inhale, roll on up, up, up. Stay up in that lifted shape and a full exhalation. Then hold your breath out. Roll down. Whenever the body's ready, open the mouth and let that back in. Good. If you feel called to go one more time without all my yapping, go for it. Good, and then drawing arms back down and a gentle hug in. If it would feel good to rock a little bit, rock a little bit. And let's do one more big action for the core while we're here. So returning to that same leg position, right knees stack over the hips, shin bones parallel. This time, bring interlaced fingers to the base of your skull and allow elbows to be wide in your peripheral vision. And then head's gonna hover just barely above the earth. Good. And this is a great place to stay if this feels like enough. Or keeping your head heavy in your hands, we're going to work into muscles inside belly and waist a little bit. So on an exhalation, draw your left elbow toward your right knee and lengthen your left leg long. And use your inhale to bring your legs back to neutral and your head to hover, and just go side to side like that. Again, really allow that head to stay heavy. Your hands can just guide it along. Your breath, body, and attention all working together as one thing. Got crackly knees today. Good, if you're still enjoying, enjoy might not be the first word that comes to mind, but if you're still up for the challenge of this, go a couple more times. Whenever you're ready for rest, feet come down to the earth, rest your hands on the front of your body, and just feel into the echo. Good. From there, you can rock and roll or simply press yourself on up to your hands and your knees. And allowing yourself to be as comfortable as possible, making any adjustments. And let's start with a nice wide base here and some sweet circles of the hips. Allowing your head to just be really heavy, and also some awareness into the way that your hands are making contact with your yoga mat. Good. In both directions, all directions, wiggling, waggling. Bigger movements and then maybe littler movements. If there's a spot that feels extra juicy, you might pause in it and breathe into it. Great. And then eventually let us land in what feels like a relatively neutral tabletop position. And then sliding through some cat-cows. Matching either side of your breath with your movement. Feel free to close eyes to invite a little more softness into your feet. Just offering yourself up to the sweetness of this moment as we enjoy moving and breathing and being alive. It's a big deal. Good, come on back through center. And now we'll have our segmented cat-cow. So keeping your handprints heavy with a little round into your back body. Exhale, hips back toward your heels about 1/3 of the way. Feel all that length in your side body, that space behind the heart. Crown of the head leads as you come forward. Shoulders over wrist, drop your belly, melt your heart, little baby cow. Good, exhale, hips back toward heels 2/3 of the way. Good, inhale, coming on back up. 5/6 of the way. And on back up. And now, if the knees permit, come all the way back toward child's pose. And then all the way back up. And a couple more times in that full range of motion. Always being really mindful that your joints feel okay with any of these actions. I've mentioned many times one of my I don't know if it's necessarily a favorite, but a quote that's really stuck with me from one of my first yoga teachers. He would always say, our joints are like an endangered species. So we really got to take sweet care. Eventually, we'll come all the way back to rest in child's pose. We might widen knees apart a bit, big toes together. Let your head rest heavy. And you might rock it a couple times side to side. Good, and just know that this shape is yours anytime you feel called to rest or any other shape that feels like rest. If you're up for it, we'll move along. If you're using props, if you're using a block, you might want to have that within reach. And we'll come up to stand on the knees. Good to see you all. And then step one foot out, doesn't matter which one, we'll do both. Good, making adjustments with cameras along the way, arms along your sides. Let's follow the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then we're gonna exhale up and over toward your extended leg. Please gaze where it's comfortable and just to check in with the strong muscles in that extended leg, that we're not locked out through the knee. Good. And all that beautiful length along your side body. And now we're gonna engage the strong core here. Inhale, come back through center, press into your foot, reach, 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 coming over far as you comfortably can before inviting a hand down onto earth or block. Good, a couple big circles with that top arm. You can gaze at your thumb if you want. Good, both directions. And then pause, really broad and spacious across your heart, and then float that back leg up any amount, big shape for the hip. Good, breathing. And then set your foot down and find a big reach. And if your low back's okay with it today, find a little back bend. Breathing here, in and out. Keep your leg, exhale your hands down to the earth. One hand beneath your face and a big twist open toward your extended leg. Is it possible to adjust your head so that you're a little more comfortable? Good. And then exhale, sail the hand down. Carefully draw the leg back in, come up to stand on your knees, and let's tuck the toes underneath that. You might need to assist those smaller toes. And then you can stay up here, or you can come to sit back on your heels. Find some breath there. If you're somewhere in between, you can use your hands. And if your hands are free, let's just find a little bit of circling before we continue on with weight bearing. Good, and making fists and spreading your fingers. Like these gardening hands, these texting hands, whatever they've been up to. Good, and then just shake them out. Relaxing hands, all the ways, all the hands. Good, and then let's step on over to the other side. So you can adjust your block if you're using that, and then big step out with the other foot. Find that nice long spine, that sense of really hugging muscles onto the leg bones, and follow the breath. Inhale, sweep up and over toward your extended leg, any amount. Gaze where it's comfortable. Great. Inhale back through center and up and over to the other side. Good. And then a couple big circles. Both directions. And then fingertips to the sky and float your leg up. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. When you're ready, set that down And find your big reach. Long, 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 and maybe a little back bend if low back is okay with it. And then walking hands down in preparation for twist. One hand beneath your face. Nice twist open. Great. And exhale, come down. And let's meet in a tabletop position. Nice big cleansing breath. And downward facing dog finally, if that's going to be in your practice today. If not, you can find extended child's pose or return back to cat-cow. But if you are in your dog, just some time to settle in. Again, some awareness in the way that your hands connect to the earth. That sense of the crown of your head all the way back through your tail. Breath right into the middle of your back. Stay here, take rest, or use your inhalation to sail forward into your plank pose. Take a moment and make adjustments here. Right, so notice where your head is in space. Can you feel your low back supported by that engagement in your low belly? Your nice strong legs, soft knees back to downward facing dog. If you want to rest, rest, or we'll roll forward and back a few times. Your breath, your pace. Inhale, forward. You might want to stay forward here for the next 7 breaths, or you can move in between those two shapes. Good. And then eventually, when you feel complete with that, please walk your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands. We're in a standing forward fold. You can grab hold of opposite elbows, interlace at the base of the skull, or maybe you just keep the arms dangling down. If it feels okay to bend your knees even more, bend those knees even more, and you can sway and swing. Good. Check in with your low back, release your elbows, belly button to spine, and either roll or hinge up to stand. A couple rolls of the shoulders out. Feel free to adjust clothing, cameras. Good. And then just land yourself in mountain pose here for a moment. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. And just notice how you seem to stack up in space. Your pelvic bowl and how it aligns over your footprints. Notice your shoulders and how they stack over your hips. And then just a sense of where your head is in space. And it could be that as you notice things, these things, that you adjust, or maybe you stay exactly as you are. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen Ardha Uttanasana, come halfway up. And exhale, fold forward. Press into your feet, rise. And hands to the heart. We'll go a couple times like that. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, release. Press to rise. And hands to the heart. Let's go ahead and add on. So if you're not at the top of your mat, go ahead and take a walk to the top of your mat. Yeah, if you want to be on that blanket over there. There you go. Mountain pose. Home practice. All of the fun obstacles. Full exhalation. And inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to the earth. Big step back, right foot, low lunge. So we land here in our runner's lunge. You can always set the back knee down. If you want, we're gonna pause here for a twist. Left hand to the left hip. Stay there, or if you want to decorate this twist with an arm, go for it. What does it feel like to lift through your back thigh a little bit, if that leg is still up, and squeeze your hips together? Good. And when you're ready to come down, exhale, draw the hand back down, and carefully step back. Child's pose, downward facing dog, maybe cat-cow. If today's the day for a little more effort, we'll do some simple vinyasa movements. So inhale, come on forward through plank pose. Option to set your knees down or not. Exhale, lower the front body down to the earth. Inhale, peel up into spinal extension. Head's just along for the ride. Exhale, child's pose or downward facing dog. Couple breaths there. If you feel called to roll through another time or two, feel free. Good. And exhalation brings you to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Press into your feet, rise to stand. Good, and hands to the heart. And just pause there and notice side to side. Be in no rush, right? Your breath, your pace. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to the earth. Big step back, left foot, low lunge. Option to set the back knee down. Right hand to the right hip. Stay there or decorate with that arm. And think of kind of spinning your left lung open toward the ceiling. Lifting through your back thigh a little bit, drawing your hips together. Good, and then the experience of your breathing. Exhale, draw the hand down and step back. Yogi's choice, child's pose, down dog, or anything else. Inhale, roll forward. If you're into that active exploration, follow your breath all the way down. Heart leads the way. Peeling up and exhaling back. You get an option to roll through that another time or two as you feel called. Shedding any ideas that we need to work harder to get better results, but just really tuning into what is right on any given day. Every day is its own. Good, and exhalation eventually brings you to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and fold. Press into your feet, rise to stand, and hands to the heart. And just pause there for a moment and feel. Good. Let us give our wrists and the rest of us a little bit of a break from weight bearing, and we'll try some balance. So stepping one foot in front of the other, invisible balance beam style, and drawing your hands to your heart. Putting a little more softness in your knees, a little more energy in your back body. And breathing. Good. And this is a wonderful place to stay, or we'll begin to add on some layers here. You can draw your arms out nice and wide. And then inviting length into the side bodies, drawing them up. Rising to tiptoes. Good. You can look up, see your fingers. An option to close your eyes. Good, and climb on down when you're ready. You might want to wiggle in between sides a little bit, little wiggle reset. And then we'll step over to the other side. So find your feet. Hands to the heart. Soft knees, energetic back body. Good, great place to stay. We're continuing best you can with that steady breath, open wide. Good, draw the arms up. Stay there, right. You can look up to see your fingers. And an option to close your eye. Good, and climb on down when you're ready. And this time, find just a bit of stillness as you notice. Beating heart, circulation of your blood, anything else. And let us step to the long edge of our yoga mats if you're using one. So you have nice stable footing. We'll prepare for our warrior two. So turning toes to one side and sliding the back heel back. And just finding a sense of ease in your hips here and a sense of stability in your feet and legs. So front heel to back inner arch is my preferred alignment. Heel to heel is great too. And we'll begin to move dynamically. So palms up along your sides, full exhalation. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Let your shoulders come with, really long through your side bodies. And then exhale, soften into the front knee, arms like wings. You can gaze out over fingertips. And let's go a few times like that. Inhale, lengthen, gaze up. So definitely an element of balance here. And then into your warrior two. Breath, body, and attention. Good, and then this time, let's hold it here. And arms just floating on a leg. External rotation in the front leg, internal in the back. Breathing in, breathing out. We'll reverse, flip the front palm, keep that deep bend in the front leg, reverse warrior. Have a breath there. And then exhale into your expression of side angle. Front arm might rest on the front leg. You can reach straight up, broad and expansive across collarbones. If extended side angle feels okay in your body, find that big reach. If your shoulders are feeling tender, feel free to rest hand on heart or behind you. And then if today's that day where you're a little more enthusiastic, both arms reaching. Big, big shape for the core, big shape for the legs. And back to warrior two. Lengthen. And flip your arms down. And feet spin, so outer edges are parallel. We'll come into Prasarita, our wide-legged forward fold. So nice long spine, strong legs. Use your exhalation and folding forward. Hands can come down to the earth, to blocks, and then just a little freestyle space here. So you can bend into one knee and then the other. Might feel wonderful to walk your hands forward, wide-legged, downward facing dog. If there is a twist or another arm variation and you feel called to say hello to, just take a few more breaths. Great. And when you feel complete with that, back through center, hands to your hips, come on up, and then we'll spin the other way. And take some time to give yourself that good setup, comfortable hips, steady feet and legs, palms up along your sides, full exhalation. Inhale, sweep up, shoulders come up with as you lengthen through side bodies, and then into your warrior two. Let's go a couple times like Great, and to hold, warrior two. And just putting all those wise actions right into place. Notice if you're unnecessarily gripping or holding, and just in gratitude for this strong, strong body. Reverse warrior. Deepen that bend a little bit in the front leg before sweetly exhaling into your expression of side angle. It can be the same thing you did on the first side, or it might be something totally different. If you want to try that double arm variation, go for it. Wherever you go, please bring your breath with you. Good. Back to warrior two. Lengthen. And down. Great. And stepping feet together. Pause there. And feel. We work. We explore. We let it go. And feeling into that echo. Awesome. Let's do a couple more standing shapes. So stepping in to a nice, easy warrior one stance, plenty of space side to side. Little softness in that front leg, nice engagement through the back leg and foot. And with the breath, inhale, sweep the arms up. Belly button to spine anchored into the back foot. Hinge, fold forward any amount. You might come down so you're parallel to the earth. I'm tickling my plant here. And then inhale, come on back up. And we'll go a couple times like that if you need or want to make any adjustments before you come back down. And just notice where your head is in space. Good. And then this time, come forward halfway, hold it, get a little bit longer crown to tail, and then fold all the way over that front leg. Hands might find their ways to blocks here, and then lengthen out through your front leg. So we're in a version of pyramid pose here. Good. Notice where your hips are in space. Feel free to soften and fold forward over that front leg any amount. And just breathe. Good. When you're ready, a little softness back in that front leg. Strong legs, long spine. Inhale, come all the way up. And then little balance shape here. Can you spring off the back foot and bring that leg forward, hugging your knee in toward your chest? It might not go exactly like that. Energetic back body. Good, and then come down and wiggle it out. That's a lot to do in succession, so just to acknowledge your big effort. And then we'll go to the second side. If you want to have your blocks ready, now you know it's coming. Nice, stable warrior one legs. Soft through the front knee, energized through the back leg. Inhale, sweep up. And then hinge, fold forward any amount, belly button to spine, big strengthener for glutes in the low back. Inhale, come on back up. Couple more. Good, last one. Hold for an extra breath, get a little longer, and then come forward. Good, this is where your blocks might come in handy as you begin to lengthen out through your front leg for pyramid pose. Notice where your hips are in space. Stay here or soften and fold forward. Breath as your agent of change, right? So what happens on an inhalation? What happens on an exhalation? Great. And when you're ready for release, little softness back in that front leg, feel in to the length of your spine, strong belly to support you, come up. And then spring off that back foot. Maybe you draw it in toward the belly. Get a little taller. Good. And then come down and wiggle it out. Playful transitions. Thanks for playing. And it wouldn't be Monday without tree pose, right? So let us settle in. You can gaze out the window, finding a tree of inspiration, or maybe that tree of inspiration is in your imagination. Hands on your hips, shifting weight into one foot. Inhale, pick the other foot up. Find your breath. Externally rotate. You can find kickstand tree if that feels most reasonable this morning. You can slide that foot up onto your shin or calf, or you might sneak it up to your inner thigh. Hands to the heart. Steady breathing. Good. If your tree wants branches, good. Notice how seriously you're taking yourself. Feel free to get a little bit lighter. The stakes so low on a Monday morning. Great. And with as much grace as you can summon, we climb out similarly to how we entered. Little extra pizzazz. You can float that foot forward and then come on down and have a little wiggle. Good. And find the second side. Clean slate. Gentle smile in case it all falls apart. Shifting into the other foot. Inhale, come up. Externally rotate any amount. You can plug into the same place or maybe somewhere different. Please be sweet and mindful to knees. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, if you feel inspired to grow, to branch. Good. And then sweetly climbing down when you're ready. Knee forward, sole of the foot shines forward and down. Great. Let us step the feet a little wider than the hips. Soft knees, and we're going to get loud and we're going to get weird if you're up for it in your space. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Big sigh, soft knees. Let it all out as you come down. Inhale, take up space. Big sigh, get soft, get loud, let it out. Last one. Good. And while we have these wider legs, let's use them as a route down to our yoga mats, Malasana yogic squat, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock with the feet, Anjali Mudra, prayer at the heart. And as you bend down, hips, knees, ankles all moving in the same direction. You can come down just a couple of inches. You might come down more, hooking backs of the upper arms into the knees. What does it feel like to lengthen your spine a little more and to press into the outer edges of your feet? Good. Stay here as long or as little as you like, and then mindfully climbing down on to your back. Long time coming. If you want to rock a little bit, some gentle massage. Good. Feet wide as your mat and find a little tick-tock of the knees. Once again, you can rock your head a little bit side to side. And a shape of your own choosing. So soles of the feet might draw together for supine goddess pose. You can slide hands or a block beneath your tail and kick feet up into the sky. Maybe it's figure four pose or some other thing. It's something just a little more passive as we begin to kind of wind down or down-regulate. And while you are putting on or exploring these last delights here, I will read you a poem. Lots of these around right now, so inspiration abounds. Daisies. It is possible, I suppose, that sometime we will learn everything there is to learn, what the world is, for example, and what it means. I think this as I am crossing from one field to another in summer, and the mockingbird is mocking me as one who either knows enough already or knows enough to be perfectly content not knowing. Song being born of quest, he knows this. He must turn silent where he's suddenly assaulted with answers. Instead, oh, hear his wild, caustic, tender, warbling, ceaselessly unanswered. At my feet, the white-petaled daisies display the small suns of their centerpiece. There, if you don't mind my saying so, their hearts. Of course, I could be wrong. Perhaps their hearts are pale and narrow and hidden in the roots. What do I know but this? And is heaven itself to take what is given, to see what is plain, what the sun lights up willingly. For example, I think this as I reach down, not to pick, but merely to touch the suitability of the field for the daisies and the daisies for the field. If you're still in a shape, you can climb out of that as you feel ready. If there is one last spinal twist, or a big old good morning reach across the length of your body. But eventually, we begin to settle into some semblance of stillness. Being fully supported by the earth. Begin to imagine yourself being breathed by all that surrounds you. Soft through hands and feet and arms and legs and hips and shoulders. Softening deep into the cave of the heart, the throat, the jaw, lips, the whole face, crown of the head. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, and absolutely nobody that you need to be. Please just rest. Great. Eventually, in your own way, And in your own time, arriving back into your body and the waking world. It might come first with a deeper breath. Toes, fingers, wrists, ankles, arms, legs. One last big reach along the length of you. You can stay there or take a roll to the side, pausing. An open heart is like a sky that pours light. And a bright seat when you're ready. And just one last time here, an hour-ish later, take a moment to notice. How do you feel in your body? Where are you at in your brain? How do you feel energetically and emotionally? And whatever surfaces, to please acknowledge your brave effort of showing up in a place of inquiry and community, your willingness to practice in this way that is newer to most of us. It's a big deal. And hands can meet at the heart, circling back around to intention one last time. Big breath in, bigger breath out. Thank you. Namaste. You can blink your eyes open when you're ready.